Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're talking about some NXT today, and we're doing the top 10 NXT matches of 2025. Now this was a very good year for NXT. Obviously in 2026 they have a lot of call-ups and people kind of left the company, so it's not as good in 2026, I have to admit, but in 2025 it was amazing.
Yeah, this year it was obviously the big year for the women's division, and I think this list will also show that as well. And yeah, I'm interested to see what your guys' thoughts on your top 10 matches of 2025 as well down in the comments below.
We're starting off with number 10, and this is a match that happened at the end of the year, but it's the Men's Iron Survivor match. This was a very good match. It was kind of hard to put which one's going to be the worst match of the video. This one unfortunately did get it, but it was a very good match to say none to say the less. Dion Lennox actually was probably his best performance that I've seen from him in this match.
Yeah, every year we got the Iron Survivor so far. It has been a banger, and yeah, I feel that's something we'll continue to see because of it being such a new idea. There's so many new, fresh ideas that we haven't seen just yet that I'm sure these wrestlers have been scheming up since they've been there, since the stipulation has been introduced to the company. So yeah, I'm interested to see what is next, what is the next like big spot, what's the next big sequence of the Iron Survivor going in the future. At number 9, we go back to the very beginning of the year, and that was Julia versus Roxanne Perez at New Year's Evil. This is the night where we've seen Julia become the new women's NXT champion, and yeah, this kind of kicked off her big run to lead up to an eventual call up to the main roster where she would end up joining SmackDown. But yeah, this match is what kicked her big year off, and yeah, this is one of the best matches of the year for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. Julia was a big signing from WWE in 2025, and unfortunately when she did get to the main roster, obviously it didn't really work out for her there, but in NXT I really did love her. She had some aura there, the crowd loved her. She didn't like come out to crickets like how it is now, and unfortunately for her, she is kind of building back up, so that's good for her. But Roxanne Perez, she was also just a staple of NXT. Number 8 is going to be Blake Monroe versus Jordan Grace at No Mercy. Now this was a very good match in the steel cage. We seen her bring out the diamonds. We seen her kind of tie Jordan Grace up to the ropes with a hair dryer and start chopping her hair off with scissors. We seen her try to use the scissors as an attack. This was a very cool match, one that you don't really see in NXT. Is like, obviously there was no blood in this match, but it was definitely moments in this match that I would say were hardcore, that were hard-hitting moves and crazy spots that they went throughout this entire match.
Yeah, definitely the women did not hold back at any point during this match. And yeah, this was kind of the first big Blake Monroe match as well that I think really kind of said, okay, she is still the same person that we know as Mariah May. It's just now we're under the name Blake Monroe, and I think her here with Jordan Grace kind of also having something to prove, where she was kind of at this point not really doing too much. Obviously this is her first big feud on the NXT roster, so yeah, overall just it helped both women after the match.
Very few times that we do get it.
But at number 7, it will be the women's fatal 4-way at Stand and Deliver between Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace, Julia, and Jada Parker. Now this match was obviously a huge one, obviously the women's world title match. Yeah, you kind of had Stephanie Vaquer and Julia, who are also both kind of on their way out, going to the main roster sometime soon. We would eventually see Julia the next night on that Raw, or I guess 2 nights later on Raw. But yeah, this was kind of a big moment, a big turning point to see two women in Jada Parker and Jordan Grace, who you kind of thought were going to be the faces of the NXT women's division once Stephanie and Julia got caught up. Unfortunately for both of them, really, they weren't the faces of that division just yet, where we see JC Jane kind of take that stand. But yeah, this is obviously a great match with the talent involved.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest match of Jada Parker's career. She didn't let anybody down. Unfortunately, she didn't kind of get the payoff from it. Unfortunately, she didn't like get a world title match after this, or really anything for the most part. She was put in a couple of matches here and there, but not really a big push after this match, unfortunately, because I do feel like she did deserve it. But obviously, just during this time in NXT, there was a lot of women involved, a lot of women to give pushes to and to give matches to, because they were kind of running the entire NXT just as a whole, really. But yeah, we're gonna move on to number 6, and that is going to be Javon Evans versus Ethan Page on a street fight at Roadblock. A very good match between the two, a very good built match. You don't see too many like really good stories in NXT, but this was one of those very good stories with Javon Evans and Ethan Page, where Ethan Page broke his jaw, I believe was the storyline, and then Javon was trying to get his revenge ever since then. Ethan Page picked up probably 2 or 3 wins on him before Javon got this big win, but when he got this big win, it was like a big staple win that kind of took him off to the races and sent him towards the Obafemis and the Trick Williams of the NXT roster.
Yeah, at this point in time, NXT was kind of a fun watch because you had a story like this where it didn't last for too long. This is probably like 3 months total, I think, with their little feud. But then you had that moment where you're talking about where we see Ethan Page break the jaw of Javon Evans. But then when he gets this match, you finally kind of know that's all right. Something's gonna have to happen to get revenge for breaking somebody's jaw. And yeah, they definitely did it. They didn't go all out as I would kind of hope for, but obviously with it being NXT, I'm only sure they have so many restrictions. But yeah, this match still delivered so much. You see a lot more in-ring action, I think hardcore action, which I think obviously for a street fight you probably are gonna see that a little bit more just because more of a street fight than a hardcore match. But yeah, overall this is a great time, and I think it helped both men at a time where they weren't really doing much for themselves either.
Yeah, Javon Evans picked up a big win here with a cutter onto a steel chair to Ethan Page. So yeah, very cool finish. And obviously it's Javon Evans and it's Ethan Page, two of the best men's workers in NXT. So not a surprise that they put on a good match here.
And then at number 5, though, we're going to have Stephanie Ricker versus Julia at NXT Roadblock. I think another match that was in the beginning of the year. And yeah, these two women absolutely killed it this night. And it was obviously with the two talent involved who eventually get caught up, like I mentioned earlier. You kind of know how good this match would be. It's crazy to think about where we have these two women on the NXT roster. But yeah, it's one of the best matches of the year for a reason. We have so many great moments of you just see how good Stephanie Ricker really was. And you kind of seen, this is probably the peak of these two women I think we've seen so far in their WWE career, I would say. And yeah, Stephanie Ricker definitely proved her to be one of the next top women's wrestlers.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were definitely all over the place in this one. This was probably Julia's best match. I mean, according to this list, it is if you're not including her main roster stuff. But yeah, this was probably her best match, even including the main roster, I would say. So you have the crazy moment where Stephanie Ricker goes for a corkscrew moonsault, but Julia catches her in a triangle position, which she has done in Stardom before, but I believe when she did it in Stardom, it was off of like just a regular moonsault. So this one being a corkscrew moonsault and being Stephanie Ricker, it made it just that little bit cooler than the last time she did it. 4, we have Julia once again versus Jordan Grayson. This was just a regular May 6th NXT episode, and it was just one of the better matches of Jordan Grayson's career. It was just a hard-hitting match, and that's kind of the story of the entire thing. They were slamming each other on each other's heads. They were chopping each other the hell. They were punching each other in the face. They were hitting the knees and the jaw. Everything was connecting during this match, and obviously in a WWE world, that's a little bit rare. You know, you kind of want to see a little bit more snug work sometimes, and that's what they gave us on this night.
Yeah, with how much wrestling we get, I did kind of forget about this match originally, but when I remember kind of thinking about this list, I was like, oh yeah, Julia and Jordan had a match. I remember being talking about how stiff it was and how people were kind of like, oh my god, are these two women being for real with each other, or like what's going on between them? But then when I'm looking back at this match again, it's definitely shown in that wrestling. And yeah, these two women did not hold back anything they gave each other. And yeah, it's like you said, one of the best Jordan matches in WWE so far, and Julia with another standout performance. But at number 3, we have Kalani, Jordan, and Sol Ruka at Battleground. Now this match, as you know, I've been a big hype fan for Sol Ruka and Kalani Jordan, calling them the next future Ospreys in the wrestling division. And yeah, they did not disappoint here. We've seen obviously the big controversial spot at the end of the match with Sol Ruka's Soul Snatcher, where Kalani kind of jumps into it. But I think if you kind of look past that, everything else in this match is absolutely amazing. These two women have all the skills to kind of be consistently one of the best women's wrestlers on the roster. And yeah, these two women are just that damn good.
Yeah, they are the two women who have yet to win the NXT World Championship, so that's kind of like obviously a big surprise, something that definitely should be happening in the year 2026. These are two I feel like they're kind of wrestling soulmates in a way. Every time they do work together, they work together 2 or 3 times in like multi-women matches, singles matches. I believe they worked together in the ladder match that Sol Ruka won as well. I believe they were also together in the one that Kalani won as well when she became the original Women's North American Champion. They just have a lot of good chemistry with each other. They work well. Their styles obviously mesh with each other, but I do like the both of them. They're both amazing, and they're coming in at number 3 on this list. But at number 2 on this list, we have the Women's Iron Survivor match, and this is the match I mentioned earlier with the big debut, not necessarily debut, I guess, but the big kind of homecoming of Kendall Gray, where everyone kind of opened their eyes to her and realized how good she was. Where did she come from? A lot of talk about her on Twitter the next day. People like, where did this girl come from? I've never heard of her name. Now everyone on Twitter is talking about her. Everyone on the line is talking about her. What is going on? And that was because of this Iron Survivor match.
Yeah, the women, like I said, that for the men's Iron Survivor is able to bring out so much from different people, and you bring out these different type of storylines. And I think the storyline they told in this women's match this year was fantastic, with Kendall Gray kind of being this, okay, she has the talent, she's on Evolve, she's already the champion, let's call her up with some of the bigger names, let's see what she can do. And she does not disappoint at all. I think it's a beautiful story. She almost doesn't win the match, but gets in. I think it was like a kind of a quick slide in to get like a last second pin, where she ends up getting the win. And yeah, it's just an awesome kind of story that you see all these women involved in. And yeah, obviously it sets up her to be a future world champion probably sometime this year.
Yeah, I remember going into this match, I was like, man, it'd be really cool if they did give Kendall Gray the win, but I don't think they will. And I believe I went with Sol Ruka, but they went with a weird angle. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's Blake Monroe took out Sol Ruka as she was coming in, and then she had to leave, and then she came back out. So like whenever she did get took out, I was like, oh, there's a world where Kendall could win now. Sol Ruka just got taken out. She might not be back in the match. She obviously did come back at a certain point. But yeah, star-making performance from Kendall Gray. Really good stuff from really all the women involved in this match. With Sol Ruka, kind of her and Blake Monroe's beef going in throughout this match, and then what led after this match when they did finally have their singles match with each other for that North American title. But yeah, really good stuff all around. Can't wait to see the next one.
But for the number one spot of the top 10 NXT matches of 2025, we went with Obafemi versus Javon Evans versus Trick Williams at NXT Stand and Deliver. Obviously the main event of the biggest show of the year, and these three men did not disappoint by any means. Obafemi again to retain his championship and look as dominant as he has been, to keep up the kind of gimmick of how strong he truly is. It was incredible. Javon having so many close attempts to kind of try to get that NXT champion finally, but it falls short. Trick Williams has his moments to kind of break everything up, and he was kind of the man to kind of break up multiple sides, where Obafemi could have won as early, Javon could have won earlier, but he was the man to kind of get involved and to break everything up. And obviously all three men now on the main roster as well. It's crazy what only 10 months can do for you. And yeah, we see all of them now, and they're looking great in the future.
Yeah, definitely. These three are not just the future of WWE, but the future of professional wrestling. I think Javon Evans has potential to be one of the better wrestlers in the world, really. Trick Williams just has kind of that, he just has that feeling that makes you want to support him, the aura, whatever you want to call it. He just got it. And then Obafemi, he's just a monster among men. And yeah, these three are definitely going to be around for a very long time. I don't expect WWE to kind of drop the ball with these three, because they are the future, the now, the everything with WWE. But the main part of this match is going to be the ending. I think going into this, I think both of us were probably leaning towards Javon to get a big win here, and they definitely got you to bite that Javon was going to win towards the end after he hits a big cutter. Trick Williams kind of breaks it up, and then Obafemi does two fall from graces to the both of them to get the win. So yeah, very impressive match from the three. Trick Williams is probably the most improved wrestler of 2025. If he didn't win it for us on awards, because I don't remember who won it off the top of my head, if he didn't win it, he was definitely a runner-up, because being a three-time world champion in the year of 2025 and putting on banger matches as well, you definitely can't knock him for it.
Yeah, and on a weekend that we're seeing three big triple threat matches, for this to be obviously not the best match, but still the second best triple threat of that weekend, behind the women's triple threat mania, was obviously something to definitely not be disappointed about. All three men proved why they are now called up.
That's gonna wrap it up for the video. That is our 10 best NXT matches of 2025. Let us know down below if we missed one that you think should have been on this list. We'll catch you guys in the next one.